got Edina. I'll let you handle what Edina is about to kick it off here.
Yeah, so as we saw last season in spring, they were the final champions. So it'll be interesting to see how they perform this season, whether or not they are still up to that standard. And the reason I'm saying this is because we might have a potential roster change. So it'll be interesting to look at that and see how their gameplay is different.
Yeah, I think we had some seniors on that Edina Rocket League team. I'm not 100% positive on that note, but if roster changes happen after that team won that championship, it definitely throws into question, is this that same championship pedigree capability like roster, right? Like, are they still going to be capable of managing those things that their previous teammates and classmates accomplished? So something to think about. Now, on the other hand, this SLP roster, there's some veterans on this roster, man. We've seen countless iterations of the SLP Rocket League roster, famously hosting the Maniac Oakland duo of a century. You're not going to see anything like it now. One of the production goats on the back end. We still get to hear him and get to be graced by the presence of him. Unfortunately, you guys don't get to see him on the server anymore. But, from that to players like, man, give me some other players, Nate. Who are some of the other sick players that we've seen throughout SLP? King Jake, obviously. Yup, legend. Cloudy and Usher were something. Maybe not the most well behaved, but definitely memorable players nonetheless. Okay? Yeah. I know
if you've got players who are memorable, it doesn't necessarily have to be for good reasons.
it's not always for the best reasons that you remember these players, but you remember them. That's the point of it. I know an SLP is storied program, right? A second place a while ago and at least one third place medal under their belt in the Rocket League category. So definitely a storied program. Both of these schools having medals in the game. So now, this is a grudge match, man. I used to play against Edina growing up in hockey. We used to get absolutely barbecued by these guys. They are without a doubt the best hockey school in the state, dude. I don't know how they do it. Just unbelievable how much talent they have. It's not even fair. But back to Rocket League, okay? This isn't the ice rink. There's similarities here, Moonsum, but it's 3-on-3. Okay, we're in little cars. We're not on skates with sticks and a little puck. It's a giant ball. In our cars, they have the ability to fly. Okay? We fuel up with the turbo on the corners and in the middle. You can see it. The big boosts fills the tanks up to full. All the little pads give you about 25, I think.
That's right.
Best of fives is how we roll here at MNVL Rocket League. We are getting this show underway, folks. We appreciate you being here. And without further ado, let's kick it off. St. Louis Park, Edina. Blue squad for SLP, red squad for Edina. Opening kickoff.
Go back to what you said earlier, Scout, about boost and everything. One of the most important parts of this game is boost management and making sure that you have boost for key and crucial moments like that, where you have to make some game-saving plays.
Yeah. Absolutely. Early chance for Edina. Not much follow-up off the back of that scoring opportunity. Abe trying to step up here into the play, keeping it in the Edina zone. Water now gathering in the corner, setting himself up nicely. This could play out. Water going end to end, just going to drop that one into the opposition's net. Well, Water, nice to see ya. This has got to be one of the returning players. I'm going to say it now. I'm willing to put money on it.
Yeah, Skip. I'll tell you this much. Aerials like that are not something that you practice easy. It takes a lot of hours and a lot of gameplay and a lot of experience to be able to play and know how to control your card as well as that.
Yeah, he had perfect control of the ball the entire way there. Passed all the defenders, finished it with ease. So definitely going to see how St. Louis Park defense can hold up against that aerial play from Water. Because on that first scoring opportunity, I mean, he capitalized.
Yep. Sure did. And then...
Ooh, that's a freebie. Ooh. Nice step up from Kadar. Going to put that one home. St. Louis Park a little bit slow on clearing this one out of harm's way there, Moonsum.
Sure is. And once again, we see time and time again, boost is a critical part in whether or not balls make goals. And one of the hardest parts about it is with aerials, like we saw earlier from Water, the only real way you can stop those is with boost. So if you get the other team caught with their pants down and not having any boost, that can be detrimental to the team.
Absolutely.
It seems like
boost control has been in Edina's favor. Another aerial score from up top coming through here from Moonsum. Or, sorry. Moonsum. Another aerial goal from Water, that is. Dude, I mean, what's the answer here? What does the defense got to do differently?
Like we've been saying, Skep, St. Louis needs to start countering this aerial play with their own aerials. The only way that they're going to stop these aerials from making into the goals is if they can get in between the goal and the ball. And to do that, especially when the... Ooh, good defense.
Close opportunity.
From St. Louis.
St. Louis Park has been trapped in their zone for a majority of this game. It's feeling like having a hard time getting this ball cleared. Abe now not able to find it. Another scoring chance. Didn't go wide for the time being.
One thing I'm noticing, Skep, is it seems like there is a clear player difference in skill and capacity and how well they control their cars. So what this tells me is there might be a potential for St. Louis to try to capitalize on what Edina is maybe missing out on as far as explosion there.
Good demolition.
Yeah.
St. Louis Park's just got to get this offense going. I haven't seen enough scoring chances coming out of them yet. 2 minutes and 20 seconds left here in game number 1. Water now back up off the back wall to himself. Rebound is there, and Shirosity is going to put that one away. Edina now up 4-0.
Going back to what you said earlier, Scout. Yeah, their defense has been doing as best of a job as they can, but Edina's defense has been the offensive mindset, where the best defense is offense. And it seems to be working quite well. A 4 scoring is not something you want to see as the team in behind.
And something to note here, earlier on, the rosters ended up having one player swap out on the SLP side, so Tager not being in the lineup subbed out for Blade Hulking. So we'll see if that ends up getting changed around after a game like this. But right now, Water is styling on them. 5-0 lead Edina. This one's getting ugly.
Yes, it is, Skep. So where we're at right now, it seems like St. Louis is in quite the predicament. This is kind of a hard score to come back from. But moving forward, if St. Louis can turn other games around and start taking control of other games after this, because we do best of 5, right?
Yep, correct.
Yep. So if they can start taking control of other games early, they might have a chance to stay in this competition.
SLP has just been getting manhandled in their own zone, though, and with minimal scoring opportunities coming on the back end for themselves. So realistically, this one's feeling quite doomed. As I say that, Abe's going to tuck one. I'm glad I cursed that one. I'll take that. SLP needed something. You know I'm spicing it up with a jinx of my own. All right? Doing whatever I can to give you guys a show. Anyways.
We're back to it.
Down 4 goals, dude, with a minute 10 to play roughly. It's not realistic to say that SLP is going to come back given what we've seen throughout this game. Just not enough scoring opportunities coming from the SLP camp. So I got to see more offense. I got to see more go in this game number 2 here.
Oh, there it is.
Good save, though.
Yep. Blade goes in for an aerial save. It's demolition.
Demoed. And that's just that aggression from Edina, dude. They're always on the boost. They're always on the turbo. And, I mean, they're playing aggressive, right?
Right. And another thing, Skep, is I noticed a lot of players starting to drift their cars a lot. That's not something you do by accident. That has to be done with intent. Because if you drift just because, you'll end up catching yourself off guard, because drifting, while it is good for movement and sudden turns, can be detrimental to the total speed you accumulate.
Yeah, depending on how comfortable you are on the sticks, you can definitely get caught out of position. A little bit too much Tokyo drifting. We'll see, dude. Water has shown already that he's a level above what is offered on the counterhand. No disrespect to SLP. That's Brazil in the chat. Anybody wants to drop a Brazil in chat, I'm all for it. But anyways, dude, I mean, yeah, like, I mean, look, every time Water goes downfield on a scoring opportunity, he's finding the back of the goal. So as it currently stands, nobody having, I guess, I don't even know how you want to say it, the aerial prowess that Water is bringing to the table.
Right, you are about that. Going back to the state finals from last season, spring season, that is, I can look at it here, but was Water on the team when they went to finals? Because the skills that he's demonstrating here reflect those of a finals champion.
I think we were looking into that. I'm not 100% sure on the result. My guess would be yes. This kid is got it 100%. I mean, he had 8 shots, 3 demos, a save, an assist, and 4 goals. I mean, literally every stat line that you can have in the game, this kid's got it. And in most stat scenarios, multiple. So that tells me that Water, he's got the carry pants on.
Yep.
No flame to the other players. Both players played great supporting roles, but that's just the way it is sometimes, right? Sometimes you got a guy who's a cut above, and Water is that dude. So we'll have to keep our eyes peeled as if SLP is going to have any shot at shutting down what Water is bringing to the table. And the rest of this Edina Hornets squad up 1-0 to start out this best of 5. SLP got to gather themselves quickly. Only about a minute-ish or so between games here. So we're going to be getting right back into it.
Moving forward, Skep, one thing I noticed, like you were saying, Water seems to be playing really well today and bringing a lot to the table. If SLP wants to make a comeback, a good way to start that would be trying to shut down Water and make sure he doesn't get into position to go for those aerials he's been making so many times to yet.
Yeah, I think they got to pressure him sooner, right? The second Water takes off, it's kind of too late because you've already shown that you can't really match what he brings in terms of the aerial play.
Which is why shutting him down.
Yep, you got to get him on the ground, 100%. It's the Michael Jordan rule. You got to get him before he takes off, because by the time he's in the air, it's too late. I'm a sports geek. What can I say?
Yeah, it's almost like there's a reason why you're doing this.
I'm built for this.
Yeah.
Water, Rocket League, he's going to score, and I mean, this one wasn't even an impressive one, bro. That's the last time he touched it right there. Right in front of his own goal, and it just bounced all the way down the field. Yeah.
What happened there, Skep? Do you think that SLP ran out of boost there? Do you think that
No, I think the aura that Water possesses is too strong if we want to get hip with the times.
Water going for another aerial, but
yeah, bro,
SLP shuts it down while it bounces down on the ground. Very good positioning on SLP part, because when the ball is only touching the ground for a few seconds before it goes into the goal, you need to capitalize on that, especially if you're not able to match players like Water's ability to be in the air so much.
Here's Water, dude. That's 3 resets. Going for a 4th! It's a floater! Oh my goodness, teammate came through for the help. It doesn't actually go. What a scoring chance for Edina. Water's having a day. He's playing with his food, Moonsum.
Yeah, that's one way to look at it. That being said, though, as of right now, the game's still at 1-0 in favor
Factual.
of Edina. So, while yes,
Gotta be careful.
Yeah. Well, yes, it
No, I
is a
get
little
where you're
bit of
coming
a.
from.
While it is a little bit of a opposing force that SLP is going after and trying to match. Right now, the game is still
Nice save
good.
from Blitz. Nice scoring chance off the crossbar. Second chance, not going to come through. Good
Bounced
clear
just
out
too
from
high,
SLP. I mean,
SLP
this is
fighting
too close
like
for
dogs.
comfort right now.
Oh.
Water
Yep.
finally
there
going
it
to
is.
net it. And if you give Edina this amount of chances in and around your goal, you are surely going to bite the bullet on it. And they make them pay. 2-0 lead the Wavy Edina. 3 minutes, 12 seconds on the clock here. 1-0 series lead for the likes of Edina. I mean, this team's on it right now.
Edina goes for a shot off of mid. Ball returned back to Edina's side of the field. And it looks like Water is getting ready for another goal. Shut down by SLP, luckily for them. But Water's back
on
in the air.
full aggression too, Moonsum. You got to be careful. He's not even playing defense anymore. Was playing defense earlier in that first game, but right now it seems like all lights are green and go.
That being said, there's Skep. Rocket League isn't like your normal game. There isn't necessarily a defined defense and offense position because the goal is so short and because your cars can get up to certain speeds that can get you on one side of the field in a few seconds. Offense and defense start to blur between.
Oh, surely there's rotations.
100%.
Don't get me wrong. I think it's just that confidence coming through from Water, showing that he's
Right.
got it in him. He's chasing goals now.
And you can tell that Water's played a lot of this game, both resets on aerials and also just knowing game sense and when, where to be when, and when to be when.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Good hit by Strosky.
Yeah.
Getting the.
A little bit of an old goal.
Yep.
It looked like Abe trying to kick it out. Didn't get the clear that he wanted. 3-0 lead now, the Wavy Edina. 1:58 on the clock. Running out of time for the SLP side of things. But I'm not sure what the game plan is here now for Edina. Or for SLP, rather. Caught between an unstoppable force, dude, of Edina. The offense is never ending, it feels like. SLP are kind of getting suffocated in their own zone.
And going back into it, like we've talked about before, offense really is a great defense in games like Rocket League and Minecraft, because if you don't give your opponents time to formulate a plan and just keep coming at them, it gets a lot harder for them to coordinate, and in a team-based game, really opens up opportunity for plays like Water's been making so far in this game.
Yeah, I think SLP, we needed to see a little bit more out of them in this second game here. Still not seeing enough of that. Just go, right? Edina are still getting time and space to set up, make plays. And it goes a good chunk of seconds before they truly get contested. And that's, I think, what's allowing them to have such golden opportunities or setups here. It's feeling like, Moonsum.
Yep, as you say that though, Bitso and Blaze did manage to shut down a potential shot on goal by Edina. They've been fighting to keep the ball back in Edina's side of the court, but it appears that they're doing a good job keeping pressure on Edina now that you mentioned that. That being said, Water's going for an aerial. Goes back
Inches
on
it down.
the ground.
Tried to drop it over to one of his teammates. Not going to find the play for the time being. Kadar gets up. Not going to find anything home. Shot off
Nearly.
the post. Not quite going to land. Now back into the corner. Kadar. Good opportunities. Edina going to find another victory here in game number 2 as time winds down. 10 seconds and closing. SLP still failing to really spark plug that offense and get the ball rolling. So I'm really waiting to see, are they going to have anything left in them to really get things going in game number 3, or is this just a whitewash here?
Oh, talk about the nail in the coffin too.
Yeah,
Water goes
and
in
Water
overtime.
Another one too.
Put the score
Yikes.
5-0.
5-0. Flawless for the side of Edina. Well played. Edina up big. Goal difference is like what? Did they get 8 or 7 on the first game?
I believe 7 and 1 or 2.
No, 1 for SLP. No bueno.
So what is that goal difference? 11 shots?
That is
11 goals?
12-1. 12-1 in goals so far.
Oof.
And the shot count, okay, shot count is at least a little bit better. Everybody coming out with shots for the side of SLP. Game 1, that was not there. So at least, trying to kick up that offense a little bit, but still just not enough, right? With the amount of opportunities that we're seeing Edina create, there's just got to be more offense produced and generated, right? We're just not getting enough. So unless that can get evened out, I don't see a way that SLP is going to be able to battle back into this as it currently stands.
Well, yeah,
Edina just has too much offense.
Yeah. One thing I have been noticing, though, to counter that point, is SLP seems like they've been adapting a little bit more that second game than they did the first game. They're starting to feel out what Edina's starting to play. And as you noticed in certain situations in the second game, SLP was a lot more adamant about shutting down those plays before they were able to be made. Let's see if they can keep that momentum going and start building that momentum back up again for SLP as they inch into the third game.
Yeah, I'm hoping to see good things here, but as of these first 2 games, Edina handedly showing that they are the team to beat in this series as it stands, up 2-0 and looking to close out in a 3-0 fashion, I would presume.
You never know, Skip. While yes, Edina is a pretty formidable team, a lot can happen in the span of 5 minutes. And if SLP really plays the cards right, they could potentially still stay in the game for another.
I'm down for it, man. I'm always open for mixing it up.
Yeah, the underdog story, while it is used quite a lot, it's a classic one, and a lot of people continue to enjoy hearing about it.
I mean, you can't beat it. When it happens, it's a special moment. It's not supposed to happen. That's the whole point of it, right?
Right.
It's not supposed to happen.
Ooh, shot from middle of the court onto Orange.
Ooh, water.
Ooh, water.
All the way downfield, dude. Perfect setup to himself. See how that? He was calculated all the way the length of the entire field, bro. He hit it right here. He knew it was going to bounce off close enough to the post. Tager, or whoever that player was for SLP, doesn't quite have that reading on where the bounce off the wall is going to lead to. SLP finally do make that swap. They put Tager in for the player that was playing, but it might be too little too late. It might not actually matter. Blade hulking stepped out for Tager to sub back in. 2-0 lead instantly. Water back to where he left off in games 1 and 2.
Yeah, it's hard being beaten down like this, Skep. It's definitely diminishing in morale.
Yep.
But moving forward, Skep, what do you think that SLP can do when they go back and watch the VOD to see how they can improve on? What do you think?
They were just way too passive. Teams come out way too passive, dude. If there's a skill disparity, you cannot sit back and let people just take free aerial shots down on your goal on repeat. It's never going to lead to success. Turtling up and playing defense, like what? You have to score too. Let's not forget that. Especially if you're getting scored on. Turtling up only works if you score once or twice and then you have immaculate defense. But the problem with that is these guys weren't scoring. And they're turtling up. So they're just not giving themselves any actual opportunity there, Moonsum. Got to be more aggressive. I got to see more offense, man. I say it every time. You got to fight fire with fire in this game, 100%. 50 balls.
But as we saw earlier in this game, if you just blindly rush the ball, that can lead to problems too, because you're opening yourself out to be outplayed by the other team.
True, but I'd rather see them going for opportunities than sitting back and kind of letting the Edina Hornets swarm them and then get repeat opportunity, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Both way, you can play it both ways, and I get it. I'm not playing right now, so it's easy for me to sit here and say and yap. But I mean, I've casted Rocket League for quite some time now, so I've got a good understanding of when teams are making correct decisions versus incorrect decisions. All good though. Edina, definitely the well-oiled machine in terms of both of these squads. The play shows SLP finally going to get one. 3 minutes of play on the clock. Let's not count them out. It's definitely looking dire though. They're in like a bleed-out stage, like a last stand.
Yep.
They got to get a couple here to get things back to even. And then still get patched up.
Ooh, shot on goal almost right away. Edina trying to make it 5-1 now, as the score stands, it's currently 4-1 in favor of Edina. It looks like Shirosity is defending.
Ooh. Nice opportunity. SLP coming at it a little bit more guns blazing, but like you said, that wide open goal, and Water's going to walk it down Broad Street and tuck that one. 5-1 Edina. My goodness, lighting it up here in game number 3.
So, Skep, moving forward, and for everybody who's watching at home, what do you think the comms look like for both teams, and the difference in communication? Because like you said earlier, Edina appears to be a well-oiled machine. Tager shooting goal on Edina, bringing St. Louis Park back up to 2-5. While sure, it is still a bit of a hard win to bring back, it's still possible. We still got 2 minutes and 39 seconds left. Anything can happen.
There is a lot of time on the clock to work with for St. Louis Park, but the biggest point to make is like they're going to have to play very solid defense. They can't allow any more goals from the Edina side of things. It's already a 5-2 lead, right? So it's already getting a little out of hand. So we'll have to see what they're capable of. But right now, I mean, St. Louis Park is on an hourglass, and the hourglass is ticking away. 2 minutes and counting.
And like you were saying earlier, too, is all Edina has to do right now is play a really nice defense. That's the minimum that they have to do. Instead, however, they seem to be really trying to put the nail in the coffin once again, and trying to put St. Louis Park in their place. Unfortunately, that is a hard topic to swallow. But for state champions such as Edina,
I mean, they are just dominating. There's another one, though. Abe going to cut this lead to 2 now. So things getting a little interesting. 1:35 on the clock. 2 goals is manageable. But the second that this lead turns into 3, I might be losing faith. Edina trying to continue to apply that pressure. Water tries to swing it out front to his teammate. Not quite going to find that pass. Back up top now again. Shot is off the mark. Time ticking away here, Moonsum.
Yep. One thing I'm noticing about Edina is it appears that while Water is, in fact, doing a lot of the heavy lifting, it seems like there is quite the difference in skill between Water and the rest of his teammates. How do you think that St. Louis Park can or could have capitalized and done some things differently based on that?
I think we talked about it in game number 2. I think a lot of it was stemming back to that failing to contest before he takes off and he gets those aerial plays going, because once he's in the air, he's very shifty, very like controlled with his movements, and he's hard to stop, right? So kind of getting on him as quickly as you possibly can would be the best kind of like advice.
That's for Water, yeah. But how about for his teammates? His teammates seem to be playing a lot more passively than Water is. That being said,
it's because like if Water's going so aggressively, it's all about rotations at the end of the day. So people, they're just filling in the gaps where he's not, right? Like somebody's going to stay back, and then somebody's going to be like your midfield or close to ball supporter.
Just as an insurance policy.
You kind of like rotate in a triangle system in the 3s format. Like usually, I mean, Water's taking a brunt load of the aggressive plays and going forward, right? So maybe a little bit more than average. But traditionally, all 3 players should be cycling in a rotation amongst themselves, like on who's going for the ball, who's going back to play goal, and who's kind of being the supporter, right? That's kind of your typical way of playing. Water's just so talented that they're giving him so many opportunities because he's also a setup guy. Like that. Brings it downfield, basically kicked it over to his teammate, and they put it in together. Pinch style. 7-3 victory. Edina close it out in a flawless 3-0 series. The best played game from the St. Louis Park squad comes in game number 3, but it is too little too late. It does not matter. Edina walk away with the clean sweep 3-0, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, we just witnessed a bit of a beatdown, to be quite honest. Moonsum, do you have any closing thoughts from your end in terms of what we just witnessed in game number 1?
I feel like because Edina is such a high-ranking team, if St. Louis Park really wants to try it and get better, they would watch that VOD over again because they saw a lot of opportunities, and we saw a lot of opportunities where St. Louis Park could have done things differently to benefit themselves. At the end of the day, competitions like these are really beneficial for teams to review because it shows the team what they need to work on for next week and the next week after that. And moving forward, if St. Louis Park improves just a little bit, they can see a potential future at going to state.
Agreed. Yeah, I mean, St. Louis Park definitely did not get the result that they were looking for today, but it is Edina walking away with a clean 3-0. They are defending champs for a reason, right? They're a solid squad, so don't take anything away. Don't take it too hard for the side of St. Louis Park, right? Go back, watch the VOD, see what you can improve on. Right, that's always the best way to look at it, and take your best foot forward. Folks, we are going to cut away to a quick break. When we come back, we have Chaska and Central on the cards, so don't go anywhere. Maybe find yourself a little snack, right? Hit that fridge, hit the cabinet, whatever you got. I don't actually care. Just make sure it's good, right? Good for you. The tasty snacks aren't actually the snacks that you need to be ripping, especially if you want to be locked in the gaming space. All right, guys, we'll be back after the break. Stay tuned.